I
Hmm.
don't believe putting is hard. Now, some of your listeners are going to want to throw something at me, like, how dare he say something like this? But just, I mean, Mike, just think about this. Like,
Yeah.
I work with so many athletes whose equipment is far more complex. First of all, you're on a smooth surface. You have a short piece of equipment. This putter has barely any loft, right?
Hmm.
Everybody is quiet, right? So the hardest thing is when you look back down at the ball after that last look, are you able to activate that grid neuron? Are you able to activate that final destination?
Hmm.
Whereas most people, even at the highest levels, when they're over a putt, they're thinking, okay, go this far back, or make sure you release the putter. I mean, these thoughts are not, save them for your practice putting range, but when you're out there playing on the course,
Hmm.
you want to have no thoughts except, okay, that's where I want the ball to enter the cup. Now, sometimes you're lucky enough to find something. There's an old blade of grass, or there's
Hmm.
something. Sometimes it's the back of the cup. Sometimes it's the color contrast between the white lining and the little brown mud or gray mud surface there. But the process of searching and finding the best target is in itself a neurohack. If you're looking
Mm.
with your eyes, okay, what can I see? What can I see? Where do you think your brain is? It's here right now in this moment.
Yeah. So you're not worried about, am I going to miss this? Don't three putt this. This
Yeah,
is for the win.
yeah.
Ah, yeah.
So I try to teach my caddies and golfers at every level, like, enjoy the process. That is in
Hmm.
fact the test. It's not
Right.
like soccer where you're on the same field, basketball, it's the same court, baseball, the same field. Like I work with a shortstop in the major leagues, and I mean he's on the same field now, different stadiums, but generally the same field. So for
Hmm.
him, we broke the field up into 6 zones, like back left, middle, and then back right, in the outfield. And so when he was at bat about to hit the ball, and he decided where to hit it, he would say hit it to, and we numbered them, hit it to 1, hit it to 4, hit it to 5.
Mm.
So we created this zone, and suddenly his on base percentage started to go up because he wasn't just hitting the ball, but he was hitting his ball to a destination of his choice,
Mm. Gosh,
right?
yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So I also wanted to ask you about the routine specifically of like looking at, well, I guess kind of two parts here. So you're talking about looking up a lot, right? Getting clear. I remember in Jira, you talked about the five doors to the brain, your five
Yeah.
senses. I love that. I use that all the time when I need to, calm down out there. And so you're talking about using your sight, right? We're using the visualization, we're getting clear on it. So why doesn't everybody do heads up putting? Just as like a, just to ask like a, kind of question. Because when I'm practicing, sometimes I will just putt with my eyes
Yeah.
up, and I seem to just kind of get to feel better. But why don't more people do that?
Yeah, that's a great question. I've been asked that question a lot actually. And
Hmm.
so, because ultimately, from a technical perspective, the most important thing technically to do, in my
Hmm.
opinion, right? The most important thing, and frankly, the only thing technically that you need to do is to hit that ball in the center of the putter face,
Right.
right? So I have measured people while they were looking at the hole,
Mm.
and it's almost like you're fixing one problem, but you're creating a bigger problem.
Oh, okay.
The problem doesn't go away. I have found that it's far easier for the brain to hit the ball in the middle of the putter face while the target is in your mind, as opposed to looking at the target and trying to hit the ball in the middle of the putter face,
Okay. That makes sense.
right? Because you can see the putter head, your putter head, and you can see the ball.
Hmm.
So you could do that, but you're creating another problem.
Because then you're going to hit some miss hits, and then you're going to
Yeah.
leave. If you have a 30 footer and you get one off the toe or heel and you don't have a forgiving putter, now you got 4 or 5 feet. And it's just,
Right.
yeah. Okay.
Let
So
me
that
ask
makes,
you this. Let me
hmm
ask you this. So this is not a trick question. It's going to sound like a trick question, but it's
you
not.
always, you're always testing me. I show up sharp for these
Yeah.
interviews.
All right. Would you have a normal routine on a 1 foot putt? Would you go through your full routine on a 1 foot putt?
No,
Why not?
because it's right there. Figure it out. Get it done.
Uh, 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 Answer again. What is the
Uh,
real reason why you would
because
not
it's,
go
because
through?
it's, I don't have to read it. It's right there.
Why don't you have to read it?
Because it's 1 foot and it's not going to do anything.
Why would you not go through a full routine on a 1 foot putt?
Pace of play.
Nope. Because because you see the target,
Okay, gotcha.
right? Because the final destination is right there,
Uh-huh.
right?
Yep.
That's why you would not go through that routine.